Howdy Pards, Ruger Ranger here, back with another great gun. Today we've got the old Ruger P90 DC. Decocker only, 45, ACP, kind of a takeoff of the old SIG P220, which of course they still make, but they don't make this one anymore. A little big, a little ungainly for concealed carry, but just a pull the trigger works every time. 45, that is just a lot of fun. Let's take a few shots, then we'll go back to the shop and we'll take another look at it. Okay guys? There you go guys, a great 45 ACP, a fun range gun. Let's go back to the shop and talk about it. Howdy Pard, Ruger Ranger here, back at the shop with a fantastic gun, the Ruger P90 DC. You know, this came in a decocker only version, which is what this is, and it also came with a regular safety. This is a double action, single action, conventional double action, single action gun. The first trigger pull, is double action. Let's cock it. First trigger pull is double action, and then every trigger pull after the first one, the gun, after it cycles, leaves the hammer back so that you can shoot the next shot single action with the lighter trigger pull. That's conventional single action, double action, semi-automatic firearm. And this one, however, also is a decocker version, which means it has no safety. It's ready to shoot. All you gotta do is pull the trigger. But once it's been fired and it's in the single action mode, you just hit the decocker lever, which is ambidextrous on this gun. And there you go. You're back to scratch. Absolute fantastic gun in 45 ACP. It's a big gun. It's a heavy gun at 32 ounces. But you know what? It is a rugged, sturdy, great gun. And darn accurate. It comes with the standard 7-round magazine that originally was designed with it. And then later on they brought out a polymer frame version with an 8-round magazine, and then these started shipping with 8-round magazines. Now I have noticed the 8-round magazine is basically the same magazine, except for instead of a plastic follower, it has a 2-tab metal follower. And that bottom tab on the metal follower has a tendency to chew up the frame, the aluminum frame on this gun. That's why I stick with a 7-round plastic follower version. I learned my lesson. Ruger will tell you the damage makes no difference, not to worry about it, but I say why let the magazine damage the gun? So that's why I've got the old plastic follower 7-round magazines that I use with this gun now. Absolute fantastic gun, a fun gun to shoot. Just a great old gun from the 90s. They discontinued this gun. Came out in 1991. They discontinued it in 2010. You know, the P series is a short recoil locked breech semi-automatic pistol that utilizes the SIG P220 type locking system and a Browning 1911 tilting barrel. It's kind of a unique rip-off of two guns. Just a very, very neat, inexpensive gun. You can pick these guns up for around $300 to $350, which is about what they cost when they came out new back in 1991. So you know, you're paying as much today as you did for a brand new one, but You know, at $350, there's a lot of gun here, and this thing will last you a lifetime. Just a great old gun. Thought I'd share that with you today. My Ruger 90 DC decocker version. 3-dot sight system. Stainless steel slide and barrel. Aluminum frame. It comes with plastic grips. These are Hogue rubber grips, steel framed rubber grip panels, and they have tabs at the top that fit in, and then this screw holds them at the bottom. Just a neat old gun, and I remember when these came out because there actually were, believe it or not, police departments carrying this gun, although not many. But you know, the competition of the day, you had Smith & Wesson 4500. Of course, the SIG P220, which they partially ripped off when they made this. And the same year this came out, the Glock 21 came out, which is utilized, believe it or not, by a lot of police departments. And that was kind of the heyday for me in the 90s when I was working. So I remember all these guns. And you had the Beretta 92, and of course the Glock 17. All those were popular guns for police issue. And although this seems like a really big gun nowadays, you know what? Back in the day, it was bigger than the rest, but not by much. Not by much. And just a great old gun. But yeah, look at the takedown pin. Slide lock, and look how that protrudes on this side. And you know, this side, the actual, although it's huge, it's a huge slide release, and the pin sticks way out, but you know, it actually fits quite close to the frame there. But you know, that's the way things were back then. Everything's a little more refined, and they're a little more conscious about the weight of the guns and the size of the guns, and mostly because of the huge change in the concealed carry permits in this country. Back in the day, in the 90s, it was very hard in most jurisdictions to get a permit to carry. Very, very hard, because it was not a shall issue climate back then like it is now. You had to give them a pretty darn good reason to give you a permit to carry. Nowadays, they have no choice. As long as you got a clean record and you can pass the tests, they have to give you a permit to carry in a lot of jurisdictions in this country. And that's the way it should be. You should have a right to defend yourself. Thought I'd share this old Ruger with you today. It's a great old gun. If you get a chance to pick one of these up, even if it's in the wimpy 9mm, grab it. It's just a great old workhorse. And I'm sure you'll get your money's worth 10 times over. Thanks for tuning into my channel, guys. I really appreciate it, and thanks for subscribing. Till next time, may your boots never get dusty, may your guns never get rusty. Go out and stay safe, Bards.